Greetings all, and welcome back to What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. This episode is all about that sports. I'm your host, reborG. Got my co-host, Bobo, over there. One of his favorite positions, sleeping. Okay, just to give y'all a quick update. I want to say it's almost been about a month since my last podcast. I've been fucking up on top of shit happening in life. No excuse. That's just what the fuck happened. My apologies. I'm gonna try to get back on the weekly thing, definitely, but we got shit situated, so we back at it. So let's go ahead and jump into these topics. First of all, fucking boy, just being him, chilling, Oh, well, one thing I have noticed about him is this nigga is still spry and is still hype. He got like the attitude of a puppy or a much younger dog, because his energy is never drained. The only time I seen boy without energy is when we went to the fucking vet and they had to subdue him, give him some drugs so they could clear out that ear infection that cost too much fucking money. The fucking vet had the nerve to send me a letter talking about we offering elderly dog checkups for $400. Shit, boy knows as well as I. Next time you get sick, that is it. Right? And you want me to spend $400 on a checkup? Well, actually, it's about $500. But after savings and with us being a part of that vet hospital, it's $400. $400? I ain't got no bills that's $400 outside of rent. Outside of rent, I don't have a bill that comes damn near halfway to that. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Man, fuck the vet. Alright? I'm gonna do this shit like people do everything. You know how some people, including myself, have went to Google to figure out shit on their cars and just do it themselves. I might do that shit as far as vet work goes. boy, you in the hands of a YouTube sensation right now. If you ever get sick again, because you're not going to the vet. That shit is too expensive. That shit is a horrible hustle. If it's bad enough for humans to get health care, goddamn, the animal field is even worse. That don't make no fucking sense. Your dog gets sick. I paid $150 to have an ear clean. Ain't that about a bitch? Well, he's doing good. I'm working a new job. Unfortunately, I'm working for Papa John's. I'm a manager, assistant manager, so I ain't delivering. I'm not gonna be knocking at your door. Pizza man? No, I ain't gonna be none of that shit. But I'll admit, for me, I don't like the job. It's just a check. It be the blank, as my boy Poe and my pop say. It be the blank right now. And of course, I've been grinding trying to find something new, because I don't like this shit. This is one job I just do not like. I just don't like the job. I don't like the scenery, the atmosphere. There's nothing fits about the job. Now, my last job where I was working at a warehouse, it was cool. Like, the work was easy. I was just on the forklift all day doing all types of stuff. I ain't had no problem with that. Only problem with that job was the pay. The pay was ass. I didn't even know they was still paying people that. Like, I was genuinely offended. And I know a lot of people say make your own job. Well, if you listen to this fucking podcast and help me blow up, then guess what? I wouldn't have to. But until then, I'm going to take my black ass to work so I can make shit happen for myself. If you have that entrepreneurial spirit in you, good for you, man. Go ahead and keep doing your thing. I don't have that shit in me. I got a strong work ethic, and I can make anybody laugh. So that's just what I got. That's what I'm working with right now. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, then you won't be having to say, oh man, you out there working for the man. And shit, if you ain't helping pay the bill, shut the fuck up. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into these topics. It's been a while. Let's go over that Khabib McGregor fight. It kind of went the way I thought it was. That's the way I saw it happening. Because with Khabib, and I probably stated it before, his relentlessness. He's just relentless. Sorry. When it comes to grappling and wrestling, like, he's gonna get that takedown. And I didn't think Conor had the stamina to make it happen, because, you know, he worked out and did all that shit, and he gasses out in fights. We all seen it happen when shit gets extended. And I figured Khabib would be able to take, you know, his strikes. I didn't think, you know, Conor McGregor is a great striker, but I think Khabib is just, you know, he could just take the punches with no problem, and he did. And I didn't think he would, you know, drop McGregor, because he did drop him, and he hit that deck. But as far as the other stuff, the ground and pound and relentless wrestling and all that, holding him on the mat and just thoroughly dominating him, we all seen the video of him as a kid wrestling a bear. What makes you think a human as an adult who's been working out, taking supplements and shit of that nature, why wouldn't he be able to do that? And he did. What's next for Khabib is just bigger fights. He got I think he got into like a Twitter jabs with Mayweather, but who gives a fuck? Mayweather, I think at this point, is just talking shit at any aspect to get, you know, just to keep his name out there. You've made enough, man. You can, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with just sitting in the background, just chilling. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with keeping your name in the light. For me personally, I would have took them earnings, chilled, made sure my kids are straight, invest in, you know, my community and things of that nature. But I ain't Floyd. So, you know, he's going to keep talking this shit. He's going to keep doing this thing. I hope he doesn't fight again. I do not want Floyd to fight again. You're done. Not done as a boxer, but your legacy is already cemented. You don't need to come back out here and fight nobody and be wasting your time with that shit. So I just hope he doesn't. As far as McGregor goes, I don't know, man. I don't know what's next for him. I don't think he's big enough to move up in weight class, and I don't see him beating Khabib, because he was hitting Khabib with some shots. Round 2, he was connecting. And for him not to get much of a reaction from Khabib, it's just, Khabib just better. He's just a better overall fighter than McGregor in this show. If they have a rematch, I see it going the exact same way. Maybe he doesn't drop McGregor, but as far as the wrestling, the thoroughly dominating the match physically, yeah, I can see that happening. In other UFC news, John Jones got his suspension lifted, and I'm just hoping the dude is finally clean. Clean urine, clear mind. You know, just you've tarnished your legacy so much, and most UFC fans still respect you as a good fighter. Like, I think if he comes out and wins, doesn't take any slugs, that's losses for those who don't know, I think he'll be fine. Because I don't, you know, for him to go through all the shit that he went through and, you know, doing all the shit that he did, for him to come back and still be a good fighter, it's crazy. Word is he's supposed to fight Gustafsson Part 2, supposed to happen in December, but we'll see. Daniel Cormier, the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion, pretty saucy. He's supposed to fight some big giant black dude next. I don't know nothing about it. That's a wait and see type of thing going on. In other fight news, Terrence Bud Crawford beat the shit out of a Latin guy last Saturday. The Latin guy was pretty good. He just didn't have the offense to contend with Crawford. And I've said this once, and I will continue to say it till it happens. Please make a fight in this fucking division. We have Danny Garcia, Keith one-time Thurman, who doesn't fight any fucking body, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford. How have these gentlemen not fought each other? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Enough with the shit. Crawford, Spence Jr., make it happen. Let's get the fuck on. And then I saw Javante Davis talking shit about Crawford. This dude, we waiting on you to fight a name. Pretty much, because you talking a lot of shit. And you know what this is looking like? It looks like an Adrian Broner moment. It looked like it could be happening. Now, I'm not saying you should be humbled, but I'm just saying, man, cut the shit, man. You know Terrence Crawford is good. Cut that bullshit. I don't even want to hear that shit. Terrence Crawford's a great boxer. For you to be hating, you're just trying to keep your name out there so people can talk about you instead of him. It worked. But as far as fighting goes, we still waiting on you to fight somebody. There's fighters in your division. Why don't you make that happen? Stop talking and let's get to fighting. And with that comment, don't say, well, you won't fight him. Of course I'm not gonna fight him, and I'm not a sanctioned boxer. But for you to say that I can't have an opinion on something, shut the fuck up. I hate people who say that. You make a comment about an athlete or a celebrity, well they make more money than you won't do it. Shut the fuck up. It's called context. When did context get eliminated in this game? Get the fuck out of here. Grow the fuck up. Sports news and college basketball, everybody cheating. We all knew it, but now that shit is coming to light. And Coach K, which happens to be the coach of my favorite college basketball team, the Duke Blue Devils, said college basketball is pretty clean. And he might be right about that. Because let's just say out of the 100 some odd teams in Division 1, 80% is clean. That's a high number. 80%, that's pretty high. Like, you know, if you got 100 teams and 80 of them are clean and only 20 are dirty, hey. Now, it looks bad if those 20 teams are marquee teams and known teams, but some of them aren't. Like Crichton, the fuck is Crichton cheating for? NC State, what the fuck are y'all cheating for? Like, you paid that money for Dennis Smith Jr. and he didn't take you nowhere in the tournament. Like, nothing against Dennis Smith Jr. He's a hell of a player. But you didn't have the talent to make it happen around him any fucking way. So, I don't know. Y'all was fucking tripping. Brian Bowman, blue chip recruit, you know, started all the Louisville shit. His dad was on the stand and he was fucking crying. I don't know for what. Yeah, you let your greed fuck up your son's future. Pretty much. Because you have the option to say no. And I understand. Times is tough. And you know, the bag is, you know, when they put it in your face, it's hard to resist. But always know there's consequences to shit. I mean, if you just, you know, if you don't take the money, you don't grandstand, and your son is probably in the league right now making that legitimate money. Getting the NBA paycheck. But because you got greedy, this young man is playing professional basketball in Australia. So, I'm not saying don't take the money, because I don't know people's situations, but like I said, understand the consequences, man. A lot of people, I don't know how Arizona coach Sean Miller still has a job. He has been called out each time. And the thing about that, he hasn't won shit. You know, that's the crazy part. The people who do the winning, I haven't heard shit about Villanova. During this whole 2-3 years of people getting caught cheating, I haven't heard a damn thing about the champs. Shout out to Jay Wright. Always respected the guy. Great coach. And this is what I can't figure out. How are some of y'all still getting caught? If y'all don't get out there and talk to John Calipari so you can know how to do this shit, not only can you cheat, but keep your name clean. Because John Calipari, among the fans and college basketball in the circles, yeah, his name is tarnished like shit. And everybody know what the fuck he does. But he's never been suspended or charged with anything by the NCAA. Take notes. Do that shit. I probably saved the college basketball preview for towards the end of the month. Maybe in about 2 weeks. Around Halloween, I'll knock that out. But on to college football. Big news. Nick Bosa decided that he was going to leave school and train for the draft. Not shocking. That's probably going to be the way for players that, get hurt and don't want to jump back in there and get re-injured, because we've seen a lot of players get hurt, fuck up their draft stocks and all that type of stuff. And don't get mad when the kids think of it as a business, because everybody else does. So I don't knock him for it. Urban Meyer shouldn't be salty about it, but he, I read his comments. He seems to understand the situation. And there's no need for Nick to, rush himself back, get re-injured, or do something silly, get caught with some shit in his system or anything of that nature. When he got the bag waiting for him in a couple of months, what is it, October, November, December, January, February, March, he got 6 months. 6 months and he'll be in the NFL. Where some people say, oh, that could be an eternity. Yeah, especially if you hurt. So he could just get healthy, work out, make sure his combine shit is straight, because he's got 2.5 years of film that people can go on outside of the stuff that he may do at the combine and, school workouts and things of that nature. Other college football news, Bama, Tua got hurt, but this is the best Bama offense I've seen under Nick Saban. This is the best Bama offense I've seen, period. There's nothing that they can't do. Jalen Hurts getting ready to come out here and try to show everybody why he should have been the starter. And I don't really, depending on how many games Tua is out, I really don't see nobody beating him. I don't. They have no holes. I'll be honest. They don't. Not over four quarters. Nope. I don't see it. Clemson looks good. And Kelly Bryant is deciding to transfer. Kelly Bryant didn't see the writing on the wall. A lot of my podcast fans, people who've listened to the episodes, know that I pretty much have been calling this shit since my first episode. Any talk about college football, I've brought up Clemson, and I brought up how much they love Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence is a hell of a quarterback too. Even as a freshman, the sky's the limit for this kid. And I knew when he went to Clemson that Kelly Bryant's job was in jeopardy. I've already talked about it, and I'm not surprised by this situation. I'm surprised he stayed at the school that long and fucked up his transfer eligibility. Because I want to say 4 games. 4 games or less, and you could transfer without sitting out a year. And I don't think he's close to graduating, so I don't think he can just, because I know if you graduate, you can just go in that weight, but I don't think he's graduated, so there'll be some waiting and some wasting of time, because he could have been did this shit. Ohio State, shout out to whoever the assistant coach is. I know that, Urban Meyer and them had some fucked up shit going on, but that ain't got shit to do with the field. That's a personal issue. That's an issue with the law, but as far as the field goes, Dwayne Haskins is saucing. That's one of those recruiting pools that Urban Meyer pulled, because I think Haskins was supposed to go to Maryland, Notre Dame, something like that. And he switched. He's fucking up Tate Martell, because Tate Martell was hyped and everybody was, Johnny Manziel 2.0, and he's just like Baker Mayfield. But he got to sit his ass down and, wait for the dude that's actually, putting the work in. The matchup with Michigan looked like it's going to be big at the end of the season if Michigan can keep their shit together. And I've seen improvements. I mean, of course, I think they still should have beat Notre Dame, because it wasn't like Notre Dame was doing something amazing. And then I'll talk about them later, but they just brought the quarterback in like a month before the season. He just got cleared to play, so I didn't think they were going to be as clean in the beginning of the season anyway. So, and I still think Harbaugh is a good coach. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Still think he's a good coach. And if you give him time, as you should with any coach, he will prove that he is worth it. And you better hurry up and appreciate him before he fuck around and leave and go back to the NFL. Because I would like to see him with a fucking Raiders hat on at this point. Shout out to LSU. They finally got a decent quarterback, and they are flourishing. Shouldn't have never lost to Auburn. Yeah, y'all, they shit the bed on that one. But it looks like they got a chance to make the playoff. And I didn't see that from LSU this year because I didn't think the quarterback situation was still going to be fixed. But it's on the upswing, and I think this kid has 2 years, so I think he might be okay. And I fuck with Coach O, one of the best recruiters in the nation. He puts in that work, and I think if they just get a dude a chance just to see what it is, because most of the times he's been an interim coach and he never gets the chance to prove that he can coach in college football. But I think this is finally a chance, and they'll give it to him. Texas is back as far as beating Oklahoma, being good. They ain't had no business losing to Maryland. Maryland was trying to give them that game in the second half, and they just never took it. We shall see. Because I don't want the honeymoon of Texas being back fucking up the team and, causing them to, have rifts and lapses in play. Because last year, after Miami beat Notre Dame and Virginia Tech convincingly, they struggled. And then they lost the 3 games at the end of the season. And let's not forget, they almost lost to Virginia and out of Miami looks like shit. It's Mark Richt shit all over again. Years he's hyped. This is how he does it. Years he's hyped, he underperforms. And years you don't think he's going to do anything, he performs. But he doesn't have any national championships. And I can tell you this right now. I'm only going to take 2 more years of it. If he don't get his shit together in 2 years and have a consistent team, because it took him until the season was a fucking wash to bring the new quarterback in. Like, I don't like the way the offense plays. Shout out to Manny Diaz, the turnover chain in the defense, because the defense is actually doing their job. I have to give it to the defense. The offense, with him, his son, and Thomas Brown, that shit is not clicking the way it's supposed to. It's far too much talent on that team for that offense to be playing that way. And that's not even from a Miami fan. That's from somebody who's just watching the game. Even if I wasn't a fan, I would still feel the same way, still have the same comment. Because the offense looked great in the fourth quarter against Florida State. Why this offense didn't look that good throughout the game, who knows? But back to teams that are actually doing something. Shout out to Oregon, Mario Cristobal. Everybody was looking to get this guy on the team because he was Alabama's offensive line coach, during that thoroughly dominating and, good coach. Good to see him balling. Former Miami player. Central Florida still undefeated and in the top 10. I hope they go this season, don't get invited to the playoffs and go undefeated. That's 2 years. They would go undefeated because, you got to respect them. And branching out the playoffs would be all right. I would say do 10 to 3 through 10. They can all play each other and let the first 2 get a first round bye just to see what it's like. And if you want to branch out more, you can branch out more. If you want to do 12, 16, if you want to do a dub, go ahead. But I think y'all should let some other teams in there. UGA shat the bed. For them to be playing so vanilla, I didn't think they didn't plan on anybody else playing them hard. That's what it looked like. They didn't plan on anybody else punching them back. I guess they thought they was just gonna run through all of the SEC and get their revenge on Georgia, on Alabama. Didn't work that way. Unless you got in that ass. Notre Dame, they're undefeated. And everybody's going to talk about it. They don't look like a playoff caliber team. But if they're undefeated, they're fucking in there. Plain and simple. I don't have too much confidence in them going forward. But, who knows? I know one thing. If they play Clemson, Ohio State, or Bama, they're getting their ass whooped. Now, they do have a decent defense. And the offense could be better. I can't remember his name. Is it Brian Kelly? For him not to have that good of an offense and it to be subpar is just surprising because, He built his name through Cincinnati and all that by being an offensive guru, as they like to say. He don't look like the shit now, so that's what it is. As far as that goes, that's that. Anything else in college football? Nah, I already had my Miami sabbatical. Shout out to the NBA. Season started yesterday. Boston beat Philly. And you know the crazy thing about Boston that people don't notice, which I just saw in the game. I don't know how it'll go throughout the season, but I think this is how it will go. There's so much talent on that team. Somebody can have a bad night. Because Kyrie and Hayward look rusty. Shit, Hayward ain't played in a year, so. And Kyrie missed some time, as he always does. Tatum stepped up big, and I think that's the team that they have. Even if the star or who everybody thinks should be dropping the 20-point games and having the great games, even if they don't put in the work, because Kyrie only had 7 points. They're going to do their thing, Shout to good coaching. Shout out to Brad Stevens. Philly is Philly. Ben Simmons going to rock that point forward thing, keep doing his thing, and be the inside force with some shooting ability. I want to see how they go further on. As long as they don't play Boston in the playoffs and that in the early rounds, they should be all right. Because I think Brad Stevens got them pegged. Sometimes coaches have teams with a point where we can beat y'all whenever we play y'all because I know how to beat y'all. Kind of like, I don't know, Bill Belichick and other teams, but we'll get to the NFL in a minute. OKC played a good game against the Warriors. Like, I rewatched it early this morning, and I watch highlights, like game highlights, but I also will go back and watch the game, just so I can get a better sense of everything that happened. It was a good game. Even without Russell Westbrook out there, Dennis Schroeder looks like a good pickup, and I got something to say about that motherfucker in a second or two, but the team looked good without Russell. And I know it's just game one, and you got 81 more, but it's always good to have something to look forward to. If I see that from my team, I'm confident going forward. Golden State. I think they replaced Embiid well with Jones. Jones will be the rebounding rim protector, and he doesn't have to do all the rebounding because with Durant and Draymond there, they rebound well, and Durant was one of the top players in blocks last year, so he can also help with the rim protection. They got a good team. They know what they're doing. Kerr's a good coach. A lot of people wouldn't give him his credit. I've always given him his credit as the coach because he took what he learned as a player, saw what they had as a team, and he made it happen because Golden State really wasn't. They were good with Mark Jackson. Don't take that away because he built that team. He took that team and he took the Splash Brothers and, he knew what was up. I don't think he had that coaching ability to get them over the top, not that particular team. And I could see like some of the personalities that they add in being a problem for him later on. But he's a good coach. I definitely think he should get another chance. As a Charlotte Hornets fan, he should definitely get another chance, okay? And as far as the NBA preview goes, I think the Warriors will beat the Celtics in the final 7 games. I think with the young boys in Boston, they got to learn, how to win. Now, they have Kyrie there, but not everybody else has that pedigree, like Kyrie. But I think they could give Golden State 7 tough games. It's a hell of a lot better than seeing that subpar as Cleveland team there. I'm sorry. No offense against LeBron. Great. Top 5 player all time. But when the rest of the team is ass, it really don't help nothing. It really don't help, and it's especially not good when you're watching it. But I don't have any. Next week I'll be doing more of a team preview type thing, going over each team, what I like to see, players I'm looking forward to, and things of that nature. But I do have some season awards, some early season predictions that I have. And MVP, I think, is going to be Anthony Davis. I think with no Boogie Cousins there, I think he feels like he has to step up to make the team as good as it was last year. And I think they have a chance to, at least get past the first round again. Now, second round is going to be tough, but I think they can get back into the same spot. And I think he's going to put up crazy numbers. Rookie of the year, I got DeAndre Ayton. A lot of people are saying Luka. I see Luka putting up decent numbers. And, you seeing glimpses of the impact he's going to have later on. But I just don't see it. Because Dennis Smith going to want, he got to get his buckets. Harrison Barnes, a.k.a. Harrison Barnes, he going to want to do some shooting. Wesley Matthews want to do some shooting. I don't know what the hell they going to do with Dirk. Dirk's old. But I fuck with Dirk. It works for him that DeAndre Jordan is there. Because, that's 5 assists on pick and rolls automatically. So he should be all right with that one. But Rookie of the Year, I got DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton could put up a double-double and a block and a half with no problem, and not even be the focal point of the offense. He's that talented, and I think the team is just that good. So, not that good, as far as being a playoff team, but as far as him being able to shine, I think he'll be able to do that. They add some good pieces. They signed Crawford. Jamal Crawford is one of my favorite NBA players all time, but I think Ayton's got this one. 6 man, I'm going to go Lou Will, because usually 6 men at this day and age, it's usually a repeat performance. He'll put up damn near starters minutes and give the Clippers a chance. Coach of the Year, Greg Popovich. I think with Lonnie Walker getting hurt and DeJounte Murray getting hurt, I think Derek White got hurt too. I think they're still going to make the playoffs. I have that much confidence in the Spurs as an organization and Pop as a coach that I think somehow he's just going to pull, he's just going to make it happen. A close second was Quinn Snyder from the Jazz. I see him, doing good. I think they'll be able to give upper echelon teams a tougher matchup than they did last year. But I'm going to give it to Pop. I just want to see what he's going to do. I think Rudy Gobert is going to win Defensive Player of the Year again. He's young. He's healthy. I think he's going to do the exact same thing. Because all it takes is rim protection and rebounds to get the shit anyway. That's what I have noticed. Shout out to Draymond and Kawhi Leonard for being dudes who step outside the paint and, guarding the perimeter. And for, playing that well so you can get Defensive Player of the Year. Because I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's more visual for the big man. The defensive rebound is important because the possession doesn't end until they have it. They're near the rim already. They're already at the rim. People are going to contest at the rim, so you have a lot more opportunities. When you're standing on the perimeter, you just out there guarding, just trying not to get chewed up. And most improved player, I'm going to go D'Angelo Russell because Brooklyn stinks and they don't have a whole bunch of shooters. He's starting, he's shooting, plain and simple. That's the way we're going to put it. Okay. Since we're done with basketball, we're going to hit up football, NFL. I'm going to save the Oakland Raider talk for the end. So when I get to the last team, you could just cut it off because I got a rant about the Raiders. Okay. As far as the Patriots, we got who they thought they were. Some early losses. It was the Patriots. When the Patriots lose, they bounce back. Get their shit together. And that's just the way it happens. Josh Gordon looks like a good addition. And Sonny Michel. One thing I have to give the Patriots that they don't get a lot of credit for, they draft well. Players they draft, they find a way for them to be an integral part of the team, and by fucking George with Sonny Michel, they've done that shit again. Because with him and James White, both of them have the versatility to be good runners and good receivers. And that's what they're looking for the defense. I don't think the defense will give them any wins, but I think the team and the coaches already know that they just hold the team back just enough so we could be in the position to win the game at the end, just like they did against the Chiefs. Patriots, we are who they thought they were. The Jets, I don't know. I like how they're handling Sam Darnold because they're not putting any training wheels on him or anything. They just go out there and throw this fucking football, and I think that's one or two ways that you can have young rookie quarterbacks work for you. You either have him sit behind somebody who knows how to do it. Do not have him sitting behind somebody that don't know how to do it, because it's not going to help. And somebody that knows and still wants their spot, because that doesn't help either. But for somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what this kid is, what he's bought there for, we know what it is. Or you could just throw him out there. Throwing him out there works too. I've seen teams just throw quarterbacks out there. Peyton Manning and Cam Newton come to mind. They just throw them out there. Play. We don't give a fuck. You're not supposed to look good. You're not supposed to be great over the season because we know you're a rookie. But what we are going to do is take the kid gloves off and just let you go out there and play. And it seems to be working, I definitely got to give them that. They 3-3 right now, but it could be worse. It could be worse. But I respect them for that, man. Decent defense. They got to get some consistency on that side, just like on offense. But you got the rook there, so you know what that does. But they're playing, and I hope they give a chance. I hope they give the coach a chance to help build up this team, because this team has a chance to be a good one, later on down the line in a year or two. The Dolphins, what the fuck? I just knew these dudes was in the Nick Bosa, Ed Oliver lottery. I just knew they was getting ready to be the number one pick in the draft. But Gase shows himself to be a good coach. They let players go, and they still doing their thing. They just won a game with Brock Osweiler back there, under center. Props to him, man. Now, I hope this isn't one of those cases like when Tony Sparano was the coach, and he made it to the playoffs and beat the Patriots with the Wildcat, and then he was just ass from then on. But they did make the playoffs, 2 years ago? It's just interesting to see what Miami has going forward. I didn't see this I didn't see this coming from them, period. For them to do it, shit, I'll eat the crow. I don't give a fuck. I like good football, period. Fuck it. Great game against the Bears. They, they wanted it. The Bears didn't. Sorry. The Bills, if you got to put Nate Peterman in the game, tisk, my nigga. That's what you get for keeping this sorry motherfucker there. Because they doing the same thing. They tried with Peterman again, as they shouldn't. Lord Jesus. But Allen's playing pretty good. They beat the shit out of Minnesota, which is always, a plus. Because Minnesota has a good defense. I still think they have a good defense. Just because you have some lapses doesn't take away from you being good, And I think, they still have a good defense. Buffalo, if he was playing, they probably would have beat the Texans. And it kind of sucks because McCoy going through the shit that he going through, and they don't have that running back, and he doesn't have great weapons right now. He's got decent weapons as far as wide receiver and tight ends, but he doesn't have anybody that's like a real threat, like a threat over 4 quarters. They took the kid gloves off with him too and letting him do his thing, and they letting him run and all that shit. So Buffalo probably won't. They're not as sorry as I thought they were going to be. They're competitive, which is always respectful. But y'all got to get Nate Peterman the fuck out of there. The Ravens will only go as far as the arm of Joe Flacco takes them. Cause now, granted, the team has had some drops between Snead and Crabtree, but if Flacco ain't hitting, it ain't gonna work. The defense is pretty good. Matter of fact, they one of the 7 or 8 teams that actually keep teams under 20 points a game. Yeah, they only give up 12 points a game, and for them to be 4-2, I guess they don't look like they're, people don't think of them as the Patriot killer. And I think they have a chance. Good field goal kicker in Justin Tucker. They have two things that Bill Belichick does not like seeing on the other side. Defense that can create pressure without blitzing, and an unpredictable quarterback. That's how they lost to the Jaguars. That's how they lost to the Jags. An unpredictable quarterback that you can't get a read on is just something that they've never been able to tackle. And they've never been able to block for Tom Brady when it's just defensive line pressure. Now, when you got a blitz, they got you. But if you could just get it with that front four or three or whatever set you running, they just can't seem to stop it. That's been the recipe to beat the Patriots for years now. And the Jags had it, and Baltimore has it, but Flacco gotta stay steady, gotta stay the course, let's make it happen. Because if the Patriots win another one, I don't mind, but I like to see them at least get challenged. The Steelers, y'all need Le'Veon Bell. The Browns, playing good. The defense is good. They flying around, making tackles, causing turnovers. Denzel Ward looks like a good pick. I remember saying that he wasn't a bad pick. I just didn't think he was the pick for them. I think, they should have went with Bradley Chubb. But, proving me wrong. Denzel Ward is playing good football. I never said he was a bad player. I just said they shouldn't have picked him. But the defense is looking good. Baker, this will only work if he has time with Hugh Jackson. And I think Hugh Jackson's going to get fired anyway. So, I don't know what's coming up next for the Browns. Y'all won some games. Y'all should have beat Oakland. The refs handed Oakland that one. But things are looking up for Cleveland. A hell of a lot better than it has been in previous years. So, keep grinding. The Bengals, I don't know. It's another one of those cases where Marvin Williams is not just being placed in a hot seat. He got a seatbelt on and all that shit, and the team wins. Because I think Andy Dalton has it in his mind. If Marvin Lewis is gone, I'm fucking gone too. Because this is the only guy who has confidence in me as a starter. So he's like, if he's gone, I know I'm fucking out of here. I'm getting ready to ride the Pine Pony. And I don't know. They're inconsistent. They could be a great team, but like I said, they're inconsistent. Will the real Bengals please stand up? The Texans, I don't think Bill O'Brien has any control over that team. It seems like they don't listen. They play hard, but it's just something's missing with this team. I don't get it. Shout out to J.J. Watt for being healthy, putting in that work. Him and his brother are top 5 in sacks. I think J.J. got 7 and Derek got 6. Flip-flopped. Either way, it's good to see that. The defense is pretty decent. The offense needs that consistency. Probably need a better running back and a tight end. See, this is what people forget about the running back position. It doesn't have to be 25 carries, 150 yards. No. But it's always just to keep that threat that you could run. And when you have a quarterback where you can run pass options and things of that nature and play actions with, where he looks like he'd be a threat to run, it opens up lanes and, creates more opportunities for your running back. I don't think Lamar Miller's fit for that type of offense. So it's not working like it should. And a tight end, because every quarterback needs a reliable target. But the Texans are missing something. I don't know what it is. I would have to watch further. If y'all have any idea, help your boy out. The Titans, you're not going to keep going out here with these 1980s. You're not going to keep going out here with this 1980s offense and think this shit is going to work. All right. Mariota's weapons aren't that good, but you could just drop him back and just keep throwing. All right. He got sacked 11 times against Baltimore. Granted, Baltimore has a good defense, but run the ball more. The last thing you need is your defense tired. And they have been. They out there getting tired. They spending too much time on the field. And y'all have to find a way to get this offense clicking. The Colts, they're trying. I think the Colts have been in every game. I don't think they've gotten their ass whooped for real. I think the last game was the biggest differential in points that I've seen from them. But outside of that, they're trying. the team doesn't have a lot of talent. Let's just all be honest here. They do not have a lot of talent, and they surviving right now. The Jags, y'all got to tighten up. They have to tighten up. Dallas exposed you for not being able to defend the pass over the middle, intermediate routes. They put Cole Beasley out there and got y'all ass. And Blake Bortles is slowly turning into the mediocre quarterback everybody said he was. Now, the defense is still good. Calais Campbell getting hurt. I don't know how long he's going to be out. You definitely need him. But the defense will be fine because they only look bad the last 2 weeks. Kansas City, who has a great offense. Kansas City has a great offense. We'll get to them. And Dallas, because, Dallas offensive coordinator called a good game, called good plays. But I'll get to them. As far as the Jaguars, y'all need to tighten up. Y'all got to tighten up with Blake Bortles, tighten up their defense, because you're really not looking like, the toast of the town, all right? You're really looking like a mediocre squad right now. Save the Raiders for last. The Chargers are playing good in the first half of the season. I hope they don't fuck it up and stink in the last half. Like, they always play the first 8 good or great, and, they destined for that 8-8 shit. 9-7 shit. But they look like they got it. The defense is playing as well as it can without Bosa there. And the offense, Phillip Rivers is doing this thing. Melvin Gordon is finding his lane and becoming a better player. He's putting in that work, and it's showing. Support the coach because he's black. I'll admit it. I just, even in playing against, my team being a division rival, I don't give a fuck. They're playing well. And I like to see Phillip Rivers have a chance. I don't want the LT years to be the only chance that he had to go to the bowl. I want to see it happen. And they got a team that, could be threatening as the year goes on. They got weapons on offense, even with that old-ass Antonio Gates. But, good team to watch. I enjoy him. And, hoping the best for Rivers, man. The Chiefs, Andy Reid got his quarterback. But the problem with this team, this defense is ass. You thought you was going to be better with no Marcus Peters. Justin Houston's hurt. Eric Perry's hurt. It's just the defense bad. If you can get your defense to hold teams to 20 points or less, I would have y'all being a threat for the bowl. But, nah. You're not going to be able to outscore everybody. I don't see this shit lasting. Denver, young, missing some players. They got some holes in some positions. I really can't. I can't put my finger on Denver. I'm not gonna say they stink or anything like that. They're letting a lot of close games get away from them, and I think that's the thing is they gotta try to find a way to have the offense match that defensive intensity, because the defense goes for broke. You can see the defense knows they are the only hope for them to get this win, because they don't have any hope in Case Keenum, and neither do I. So, get the offense tight. You've shored up your defense well enough. You got to get that offense together. NFC East, Dallas. Dallas has a good defense. They have a threatening defense, that can, cause turnovers and get you in enough 3 and outs to make it happen. Problem is that offense. And what they have to do with that offense is what they did against the Jaguars. Move Dak around in the pocket. Give him some short routes to work with. Get him moving around. Have him all that straight drop back. That's not going to work for him, and it hasn't worked for him. And, once you get him running, your RPOs open up for Ezekiel Elliott, because you're not going to be able to just line up in the I formation and keep running the dude, because that's what everybody's predicting. They're putting the 8 in the box, waiting on the run. But when you do these play action rollout passes, you get opportunities like you had against the Jaguars. Shout out to the offensive coordinator, because I don't think Jason Garrett calls plays anymore. But at least at this point, the team looks like they're starting to get it offensively. Because this is just like Denver. Trying to get that offense to at least have it functional enough where the defense don't have to win every game. The Giants, it ain't Eli's fault. Next. The Skins, they fight hard. I give it to them. I like a team that, you're missing pieces. We know that. You're not an overly talented team. You're middle tier, lower middle tier as far as talent goes. But Alex Smith is a winner, and he will get that win. You just got to make sure you put the pieces around him so he can consistently win, and make sure your defense is up to par. They got a lot of young players, and I think, with proper coaching, build those guys up to be something. There's actually, I think it's hope in Washington if Daniel Snyder and whoever the GM is don't fuck it up. The Eagles, time. Y'all just need time. Just time for get everybody back in the groove. Everybody to, get over the Super Bowl hangover. And playing that sorry ass. Who did they beat the shit out of? They beat somebody. They beat somebody pretty easily the last game. They beat the Giants. And you need those kind of games with a team that you can beat to get your confidence back up. They were looking for a running back, but it looked like if they just do Smallwood and Clement, they look like they may be fine. Because Carson Wentz, he looks like, outside of that big-ass Stone Cold knee brace, he looked like he didn't get hurt. He's still moving and grooving in the pocket, doing his thing, dotting up people and all that stuff. So, once you just tighten up on the running game and tighten up on your pass defense, because you got a pass rush, but you need better defensive backfield play. And I think then you can get back to being that threat. Because you look good, but not great. The Bears, the Bears' 2 losses come from bad coaching. The Bears should be undefeated. The first bad decision was the first game against the Packers when you let Khalil Mack sit out. I don't give a fuck. The way he impacted the first half, why would you not play him in the second half? And then in the overtime game against the Dolphins on Sunday, why you call those 3 regular ass plays and then just kick the field goal? Open up the book. That was a problem earlier in the first couple of games of the season, is that they didn't open up the playbook and let Trubisky, take some chances. Now they did the shit and the offense is playing well, but when you get to that situation, you gotta keep the foot on the neck. The field goal is a last option. You are always looking to get to 6, even in that situation. Driving down the field in overtime, next score wins. All we need is a field goal. I'm still thinking touchdown. For me personally, I'm still thinking touchdown. If we get to the position where there's no other choice but to kick the field goal, I'm fine with that because that's the option that it possesses. But I'm not just thinking field goal as soon as I get the ball. Tighten up as a coach. And only time will get you better with that, because this team is really learning how to win on the fly. And they're learning about the pieces as they come along, because a lot of those guys just got there. A lot, some of those key free agents and things of that nature. Just give it time. Jail. Don't be afraid to try some shit, and you can move forward, and we won't have to wait a year or 2 for you to finally reach final form. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers. Next, the Vikings. Y'all don't know who the fuck y'all want to be. The defense. Now I understand the defense getting torched against the Rams, but I'll get to that later. But Buffalo, you know better. As far as the Vikings go, Mike Zimmer, you know the deal. Get those guys together. Tighten them the fuck up. Next, the Lions. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? I like Matt Stafford. He's trying. The team's trying. I don't see it happening. Not enough talent. Maybe y'all are in the sweepstakes for the Bosa Ed Oliver thing. I don't know. Moving, Saints. Keep this one short and sweet. If your defense exists, y'all could be in the Super Bowl. Next, the Bucks. Fitzmagic strikes again. He comes in, he plays great. As soon as you replace him, that quarterback that he replaced becomes ass. And Winston, he hasn't been ass. He's played good in the second half, but they need that consistency in the first half to be an actual threat. I'm tired of seeing him do that shit. Okay, with this team, he need to get it the fuck. He need to get it the fuck together. Play football. Learn the book. Learn the fucking playbook. Watch some fucking film and make it happen. You got too much talent to be this mediocre. And there's too much talent on that fucking offense for you to be just putting up points in the second half. Get it the fucking together, alright? The Falcons? Who knows? Good team, good offense, decent defense. Who knows? I think y'all in the need for an overhaul. Shit ain't working. From the top to the bottom, from the coaches, the general manager on down, something's not clicking outside of Julio and Calvin Ridley. And Tevin Coleman, because he played great. And y'all in the wrong division. Carolina, y'all ain't had no business losing to Washington. Washington gave y'all every chance to win that game, and you didn't take it. Y'all need to stop bullshitting. Listen to North Turner, because he knows how to put points on the board. Stop trying shit yourselves, and let's make it happen. Alright? I know it was raining. Hey, shit happens. But going forward, you guys got a chance to be something in the, this season. You guys got a chance to, I'm not going to say the bowl, but at least be a threat to make it to the conference championship. If y'all just tighten the fuck up. Because it's just lapses in play. That's Carolina's problem. The talent's there. They play hard. Shout out to the defense. They got a good defense. The offense, they got to get clicking better. Because some games it looks like they're not clicking. So, stop bullshitting. Get into your playbooks. Get into your film. Listen to North. And let's make that shit happen. Because, got a chance to be good. The Cardinals, who gives a fuck? Next, the 49ers. Jimmy G's hurt, so sorry. I'm really sorry that that quarterback of the future got hurt, and it fucks up a lot of shit. So it fucks up a lot of shit. So I don't know, man. Y'all just go out here and make sure you draft well and look forward to next year. The Seahawks are playing pretty decent, even with Pete Carroll. And I think a lot of the players have given up on him. A lot of the veterans that have been there for a while, they're giving up on him. They tired of hearing that excuse that we'll take care of you when it doesn't happen. And it's starting to show, but they still playing good ball. I mean, still got a decent defense. The offense is able to move. Of course, they moved against the Raiders. There's no pass rush because it's in Chicago. But they're still playing good. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll finish 8-8, and it's time to make a real decision. Is Pete going to be able to grab? They're going to have to replace those older players who already know that Pete, they don't want to play for him or that organization. Because Earl Thomas flicking them off is just the tip of the iceberg. Cam Chancellor retiring, Richard Sherman willing to leave and shit of that nature. They missing that dog, and there's still some dog in some of the young players, so we shall see, man. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even put my finger on what the fuck the Seahawks are right now, other than the team that just beat the shit out of the Raiders. And the Rams. Quite impressive. Games, I think offensively, they don't have a choice but to score. Offensively, I like to compare them to the Golden State Warriors. It's hard to keep them from scoring because Jared Goff has developed so well. Him and Sean McVay have clicked on that football field, and it's just starting to work. Last year, it was more of McVay's play calling and him knowing, the defense and shit of that nature, and knowing, because, you have a time limit where you can speak to the headpiece of the quarterback before the play starts. And I think he was just telling them, look for this. This will be open, this, that, and the third. But I think Goff has got to the point where he sees the shit himself. And he can call the shit from the line and, do things of that nature. On top of that shit, they got fucking Todd Gurley, who's fucking running through this goddamn league. And, favorite college running back. And I think the offense is like Golden State. I don't think you can keep them from scoring. In games where they have shootouts, it's just going to go down. The defense has played well enough, but I think that secondary with because I think Talib is hurt. One of them is hurt. If they can keep everybody healthy, shit'll get better as the year goes on. But they have a decent enough defense where it's enough of a threat that they could be in the bowl, man. I don't really see anybody keeping them away from it. Not in the NFC. Not till the Bears learn how to win. Not till the Eagles can, clean their shit up, because their pass defense, their secondary isn't that good. You can't have that shit against the Seahawks. The Saints defense isn't that good either. So who fucking knows? Who will make that shit happen? Who else? I don't really see. Maybe the Panthers, but they got to score, because it ain't gonna be too many times where you just gonna shut the Rams out. Not this year, not the way they're moving. So I hope they can get a challenge, because I don't know. They'll be the team that ripped the league up, play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and look sorry as shit. So we have no fucking clue what it will hold. So that's just a wait and see. But right now, they look like the best team in the league. Hey, get it popping. And last and certainly least, the goddamn Raiders. It's not that John Gruden is losing or the team is losing. Seems as if he just doesn't give a fuck. It seems like he has this 10-year deal and he's like, shit, I'm good with the owner. I'll be alright. And I have the option to go back working TV, so the bag is always available to me. Whether I coach this team and I do whatever the fuck I want, or I go back to TV, the bag is always available. But it just doesn't seem like he gives that much of a fuck. It doesn't. Through some of the trolling he's done in interviews, and when it came out last week that him and Reggie McKenzie disagreed, he wanted to draft Derwin James. Reggie McKenzie wanted to shore up the line, and I don't mind that, but Colton Miller just isn't. I already spoke about it in the draft, and the kid has looked decent against lesser competition, but we can't have that. The division's too good. The pass rush is too good. Between San Diego and Denver, that pass rush is crazy. And we just don't. The team just doesn't look good. Derek Carr's confidence is shot. This is not the same quarterback from 2 years ago. It's not. He's not even the same quarterback from last year. And his confidence is shot. And I don't know what they can do, whether it be coaching or winning or anything. You know what it seems like? And I want to say, not just for the defense, but as a team, Khalil Mack meant so much more. He was a leader. He was a captain. He was just somebody everybody looked to. Like, he's playing that hard. He's putting in that work in the offseason. He's doing all these things to make himself a better player. We need to follow suit. That's what type of player he is. And when you lose that type of foundation, it's just hard to get it back when you don't replace it. It's only draft picks, and those kids are going to be young, and they're not going to be looked to be leaders unless it's a quarterback. I don't think they're going to do that, because Derek Carr got the bag, so I don't think they'll be looking for a quarterback anytime soon. But I don't know. It's a calamity. And when the coach and the GM aren't seeing eye to eye, even at draft time, Lord knows what'll happen. Bruce Irvin don't give a fuck. He said he want to go back home to his beautiful wife and try to make some babies, which I can't knock him for. There's been situations good and bad where I'm like, man, this would be better with some pussy. So I definitely can't knock him for that. But the team's gone. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do to get him back. I don't know what the hell it's going to take. All I can say is go do basketball. And that will conclude another episode of What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. We in this bitch an hour. I'm going to try to extend them. I was trying to fit them inside between 30 and 40 minutes, but fuck that. It's shit to talk about, and I'm going to talk that shit. We'll try to switch up some topics in the next episode. I just want to get back into the swing of things. Thank everybody for listening. The support, however you do it, much appreciated. Be easy and be you. I'm out.